Well, hi there, and welcome to our thought for the day. I'm Mark, and it's lovely just to share a few thoughts with you on this day, or evening, or morning, whenever you're watching this. It's lovely that you're here. I was reminded recently of the quote, "Comparison is the thief of joy." Have you heard that? Comparison is the thief of joy. I wonder if you relate to that. Are you the kind of person who at times has wished they had the gifts or the talents of other people rather than the ones that you've got? Just interested looking over, just a quick think through some of the stories throughout the Bible. There are times when God chooses people, and part of their learning is realizing that they don't need to be someone else, but they need to be who they are in order to follow God's call on their lives. Moses can't believe that God would use him because he's not a confident speaker. Yet Moses goes to confront Pharaoh and leads God's people out of Egypt. When a new king is chosen for Israel, Samuel goes to Jesse because it's going to be one of Jesse's sons. And of course, who gets chosen? It's not all these of Jesse's sons that are brought before Samuel because they're assumed that they'd be the next king. There's David, who's the youngest and just looks after the sheep. Turns out that it's him that God wants, not the others who would assumed it would be to take on the task. And David has to grow into that and be who he is, not who they are. Comparing ourselves to other people, it can often rob us of the joy of who we are and the gift of who we are. I remember during my third year training for ordination at Ridley Hall, I was getting ready to lead one of our chapel services, something that we did every week. Every one of the ordinands, the trainee vicars, got to do this. So, it was a big deal. And you're there standing before doing this thing before all of your peers. And we all say we weren't judging each other, but really we were a little bit, if we're being honest. You want to do a good job. You want to get it right. But I was the kind of person, I'd often look around the room and think, oh, how should I do this? I should do it like that person, or I wish I had, or wish I could lead like that person. I wish I had the confidence of this person. I wish I could preach as powerfully as she does, or pray as eloquently as him. I was leading the service alongside our college principal at the time, and as we were preparing, I was asking him how I should lead a particular part of the liturgy. I probably use words like, oh, I know when we do this, so-and-so normally does it like this, or so-and-so did it like that. And I remember he went to speak, and he kind of stopped himself. And he looked at me and he said, well, however you do it, just make sure it's very Mark. I felt in that moment I was given permission. Don't think about how other people do it. You're you. How are you going to do it? Don't compare yourself to others. In some ways, that's just a really small thing. But for me, it was really important. I realised, no, I've got what I need. I'm enough here. By being myself, by doing it the way that I do it, not looking at other people and thinking, oh, I need to do it like that. Maybe that was all God needed, and maybe that is all God needs for us to say, actually, yeah, this is us, we're here. And we do have to, it doesn't mean we don't have to form ourselves and develop our character and even get better at things, but we're enough for God to use. Reflecting on this, I was reminded of the following wisdom story that just as we bring this thought for a close, I'm going to share with you. Once the great leader Zeusia came to his followers, his eyes So came to his followers. His eyes were red with tears. His face was pale with fear. Zeusia, what's the matter? You look frightened, they said. The other day, Zeusia responded, I had a vision. In it, I learned the question the angels will one day ask me about my life. For the followers looked puzzled. Zeusia, you are pious, you are scholarly and humble. You've helped so many of us. What question about your life could be so terrifying that you would be frightened to answer it? Zeusia turned his gaze towards the heavens. I have learned, he said, that the angels will not ask me. Why were you not more like Moses, leading your people out of slavery? Well, the followers looked a bit confused. They said, no, Zeusia, tell us. What is the question that they will ask you? And I have learned, Zeusia sighed, that the angels will not ask me. Why weren't you a Joshua, leading your people into the promised land? Well, the followers again looked confused until one of the followers approached Zeusia, placed his hand on Zeusia's shoulders, looked him in the eyes and demanded, Zeusia, tell us, what will they ask you? They will say to me, Zeusia, there is only one thing that no power of heaven or earth could have prevented you from becoming. They will say, Zeusia, why weren't you Zeusia?